Hello, welcome back. Today a no-nonsense video again, and we will be doing a PvE tier list. First, I will only be doing the EUNA release classes because balances happen so often that this tier list will change quite easily by the time of the other classes release. I have all the ones here in case you aren't aware. This will be nice and quick. If you want more in-depth information, I'm going to be putting a guide down below done by the great Saintone, a content creator that you should definitely follow. Go watch him on Twitch, blah de blah de blah, all the rest. Great stuff. Starting off, we have Deathblade. Very popular class, first class I ever picked up actually, and it is an A tier. Now, I was considering an S tier, but its utilities aren't quite as good as it could be. It is, however, highly mobile with quite fast speed, and it is middle of the road on tankiness. It's not quite as... a lot of assassin classes in a lot of games are usually quite weak, and classes like the Reaper in this one are in fact incredibly squishy, but Deathblade is surprisingly quite tanky. And next we go to Shadowhunter. Now I would put this at an S. A lot of people I don't believe would, because it can be a bit finicky, let's say. But with recent upgrades, its demon only build is actually, well, transform only build as it's called, is actually being increased with power humongously, and I think it is incredibly strong and also fun and easy to use. Next we have Artillerist. Now I was considering an S because it is actually quite an easy class to use and an easy class to do a lot of damage with, but it's not quite. The skill that you need to do well on this isn't quite high, but then even if you get incredibly good at it, it doesn't get, the damage output doesn't go up that much. Whereas a lot of these other classes, if you're really good at them, the DPS will go up massively accordingly. Next up we have the Deadeye. Now we put this in a B tier. It is not quite an A or an S for me, simply because the positioning needs to be perfect. That being said, it has quite high mobility, like the Gunslinger, and has some pretty good utilities as well, but it's not quite there, as the positioning is just quite difficult. Gunslinger. Next up we have Gunslinger. Now the Gunslinger is quite squishy, like the Deadeye. They are both very squishy classes, and it's got quite a high skill ceiling. However, if you hit that skill ceiling, you're probably going to be out DPSing pretty much anything, but it is incredibly difficult to get off because of mainly its squishiness, but it has got quite a high mobility and great utilities as well. So a great team player, not quite as position heavy as Deadeye, so I would recommend this one a bit more if you are looking to play one or the other, but still expect to play it quite a bit to get to that sort of level that you want to be at. Next we have Sharpshooter. Now Sharpshooter, A tier, pretty solid class, very self-explanatory, good utilities, easy to do stuff from far away, a little bit squishy, but it doesn't matter so much because you're at a pretty high distance. Very good class. Next we have Bard. Bard is S tier, very easy S tier, probably the best class in the game. Support, amazing. I mean, it's a support class, great for healing, great utilities. You want one in every party, you know, and a party is 4 people, so for every 3 people you want a Bard. Personally, that's what I would go for. Just if you want to play one, play it, because they are great. A little bit tricky to get the hang of, You do need to be mechanically good. You need to understand what the bosses are going to do and when to use your utilities, but they are fantastic and can be really fun, especially at the high level raids in tier 3. Next we have Sorceress. Now this was the recent edition. It is an A. The reason that it's an A, and just to say, I would put the Summoner probably a B because of its positioning, just to give you a frame of reference. Sorceress, surprisingly fast for its sort of abilities. It has actually quite good range. It is actually more medium than you'd think. It's not quite as long as a Summoner is, but it has decent ability to keep it alive. Great utilities, great partnership with other classes as well. You don't want to have too many, but it'll work. Pretty high skill ceiling again, but it's easy to play, hard to master, whereas Slinger, I would say, is overweight. Next we have Scrapper. Scrapper, A. I might be biased because Scrapper is my main, but she has great mobility, only double dodge in the game, although it's on a lower cooldown, of course. Quite agile, extremely tanky, third tankiest in the game, if I'm not mistaken, and just so fun to play. Pretty easy to play as well. Not that hard to master either, depending on your build. She's just tons of fun. Next we have Sophist. I'm going to put Sophist at B. I know, she is great, incredibly fun, and I would recommend anyone try her, but the constant shifting between long distance and melee, it's just, you know, she is a jack of all trades, master at none, but she's not really that good at any of them. She's incredibly fun to play, and she can be amazing. She can be top of the DPS fields, but you need to be incredibly good at her. She's also middle of the field. I don't think she's not very tanky, but she's not very squishy either, and her utilities leave some to be desired. Striker's an S. In PvE, he's like a Scrapper, but faster and with more damage. They are just deals more damage, pretty much. A little boring in my opinion, but you know. Battlemaster, well, War Dancer, A tier. I would say she is exactly like a Striker, just faster, and a little bit weaker. That being said, I'd say she's got slightly better utility than Scrapper, and a lot better damage than Sophist. A lot easier, but quite a fast class in general. Next we have Circa. Circa is an S tier, simply for the fact that it is incredibly easy. You could probably just hit your head on the keyboard and do a ton of damage, and also one of the tankiest in the game. So don't worry about getting hit too much. And when you get really good at him, he also does a lot more damage. So it's great. Fantastic. Nothing wrong there. Gunlancer, also an S tier. That's because he's very tanky, also does a lot of damage, all of the above, right? Basically a tank, the tankiest, and he does have some tank utilities, but don't treat him like a tank, otherwise you're not going to be doing it quite right. He doesn't deal quite as much damage, but it's going to be impossible to kill him, and the utilities make a way up for it. Paladin, another support. Great utilities, play it if you want to, exactly the same as Bard, except more on the damage buff and utilities front. Also incredibly difficult to play well, but easy to play from the beginning. Tier 3 content, you will want probably both a Paladin and a Bard, one in each party. If you're doing 8, that's just going to make your life much easier. And that was it. No nonsense, easy tier list. If you have any questions, I will answer them in the comments. Please read Saintone's guide. It will go into much more detail and will be more interesting, probably. Okay, thanks. Bye.